Franck-Reed, and I'm playing the role of Florence Foster Jenkins. And the first time I was on the Guild stage, I played the Queen in The Beard of Avon, and this will be my first time at the new Guild, which I'm really excited about.
A thin thread of breath, but that's it. You're mouthing words, making noise, your ears are ringing, and who knows what comes out. You can never hear what others hear.
And I'm Chuck Larkowski. I'm playing the role of Cosme McMoon. This is my first time on the Guild stage.
When singing for friends, I allowed myself to be accompanied by those who could not always give the music its due. Without wishing offense, for this, my first public recital, I must be ruthless. I seek no reward for my singing, certainly no financial reward, no personal reclam. I assure you this is no mere act of vanity.
Well, the show's based on fact. Florence Foster Jenkins and Cosme McMoon were real people. And this is, the show is called Souvenir. It's a reminiscence by Cosme of the years he worked with Florence. And I think it's kind of an interesting kind of two-character play, because on the one hand, it's about her, and she's certainly kind of the focus of the play. On the other hand, dramatically, I think it's also a play a lot about Cosme. So he's the one who I think changes and progresses.
I put myself entirely in your hands.
Sure, okay.
I want you to be harsh, Mr. McMoon.
Harsh.
You must be brutally honest.
It seems to me that some notes are perhaps not quite secure.
It's a play with music, but it's a lot about the music.
And yet it's not a musical in the normal sense at all. The music is more just the reality of the story that they're in, rather than songs.
Right.
Perhaps my style wouldn't be suitable to show your voice to best advantage. Your particular voice, you see, your voice, Mrs. Foster Jenkins.
My voice is not a large one, Mr. McMoon. What I have is much more rare, a true coloratura. I don't flatter myself. My own particular gift is purity of tone.
What was going on in her head? What was she hearing? Was I in the presence of mere delusion or a kind of dementia?
First time I ever heard her was when I was going to the College Conservatory of Music in Cincinnati when I was a freshman, and someone pulled the record out, The Glory of the Human Voice, which is the album that she made, and played it at a party, and none of us could believe what came out of the woman's mouth.
I had exact parallel experience. I went off to Michigan State as a freshman in 1967, and somebody pulled the record out at a party, and we all sat around and were just astounded and laughed about it and so forth. And it's still out there. It's been reissued on CD and so forth, and there are people who know.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, there are people who know about her.
I think you could be too analytical, don't you? There's nothing that ruins new music than this modern mania for accuracy. It wasn't that way in the past. Music came from the heart.
Yeah, we've known each other for 30 years.
Yeah. Met Chuck when he first came to town. We both were singing in Grace United Methodist Church's choir. Yeah, and that was over 30 years ago, I think, yeah.
And then Renee came to school here at Wright State. She was my student in my classes for a while. And we've done various musical
kinds of things.
Church music mostly, but this is our first time on stage together, even though we've both been on stage a lot around town.
Oh yeah. So we're having a good time.
Tickets were like gold those days. All the famous, smart people. Noel Coward, Cole Porter, Elsa Maxwell, Walter Winchell, Fiona Khan. They all came to hear her. It was like magic. Word just spread. Every time she sang, more people wanted to hear. You couldn't keep them away.
It has been a gift. Now we must really get to work.
What?
But there's so much to be done.
You're not going to do this again.
It seems a great part of the audience begged for our return. Oh, to think that they want us to come back. Oh, Mr. McMoon, we really must get to work. To sweet tomorrow.
You mean do this again?
Well, of course.
It's not easy to sing badly, believe it or not. It really isn't. You have to really work at it. But not that I'm always perfect when I sing, but I sure hope I don't sound like this ever in my life again.
Cosme, it's been proposed that we move our recital to a larger venue, which is rather exciting, don't you think? Oh, I knew I had a following. I'm not blind after all, but I had no idea I was quite so popular.
The whole premise of Cosme was, in the beginning, he says that he just doesn't understand why she couldn't hear herself, but as she says, I only hear the music, and she heard something totally different inside her head than what was going on.
You're supposed to be here, Madam J.
Well, isn't that what I sang?
Let's see.
There. The piano must be out of tune. It's happening more and more, as if it's made too much music in its day. Jealousy is a terrible thing. I'm not so blind that I can't see how people might portray me. Cosme, I have been asked to give a recital at Carnegie Hall. That's what's been proposed.
We're having a wonderful time with this, and it's a kind of a unique opportunity. I'm very grateful for it.
Me too.